Hi everyone, welcome. It's Stacy and Pip is here to join me and a little balance flow today. Something you can do anywhere. You don't have to have a yoga mat, but just something to always keep working on our balance, which is so important, especially as we age and having that agility to move around and stay upright. And so let's just start wherever you are with your feet about hip width apart. And we're going to start with this bit of a wider base, our feet underneath of our hips, just to have the stability. And rolling the shoulders back, opening the hands, maybe pressing that head against that imaginary wall behind you to lengthen our spine. And just take a few breaths in, maybe closing the eyes and just arriving at this place and this openness to explore and to be playful into our balance flow today. And connecting with that breath in and out, just a breath or two, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose or mouth. And then as we start to feel the surface beneath us, we might rock forward and back a bit, just feeling the heels pressing down, the balls of the feet. And then lifting the toes, and let's fan the toes wide and then place them back down, that stable surface beneath us. And so as we connect with the ground, let's start to shift the weight, shifting forward onto the ball and then back to the heel and noticing the hips shifting with us as we keep a micro bend in our knees, avoiding locking them out, and just feeling that shifting of our weight forward and back. And then after we have shifted a couple times, let's roll onto the balls of the feet, remembering if it feels good to us. If it's uncomfortable, then maybe just staying with that shifting. But if we are able to roll onto the balls of the feet, squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the buns, creating that dynamic tension through our lower body to help keep us secure. And then place those back down. Now, as we sweep the arms overhead and we create some length, reaching with those hands, lengthening the body onto the balls of the feet again. And then on our exhale, our next exhale, we'll just place the heels down, sweep the knees, inhale, rise up again, roll onto the balls of the feet. Take a couple breaths. On your next exhale, place the heels down, sweep the knees again. So on your own, taking as much time as you like, generating a little bit of heat in the positions, flowing up and down, choosing to stay on the balls of the feet as long as you like. Let's do a couple more. If you are staying on the balls of the feet and lifting those hands and staying there for a couple breaths, soften through the shoulders, awareness of the breath as you're holding the position, keeping the breath flowing, and then release the heels down when you're ready, and let's come back to that mountain pose. Now, taking our stance wider to a more narrow stance, we're going to bring the feet a little bit closer together, going from wide to our narrow base. Sweeping the arms behind us, inhale, and as the palms touch and we exhale, let's sit back into that chair pose, sitting hips back. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Squeezing the inner thighs, noticing that dynamic tension that we're creating in the lower body as we sweep the hands up, exhaling into our chair. So flowing through our chair a few times, listening to the body. And then the next time that we come to that chair pose, hands however you like, they can even be at the hips, softening through the shoulders. We're going to roll onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels into that chair pose. We might stay a bit more upright. We might sink a little lower. We keep our heart lifted as we take a couple breaths. We'll place the heels down, come back to our mountain pose. Beautiful job. And then let's take the left foot in front of the right. So pretty wide base, narrowed base, staggered base. So we have the left foot in front of the right, heel to toe. Squeezing the inner thighs, maybe even taking the imagination of that back knee into the knee pit of that front leg. So knee, front and back. Open up the hands. Take a couple breaths. I have another kitty joining us, so if you hear meowing, it's Oliver. And so now let's find that heart center again. And as we hinge from our hips, perhaps we lean a bit, navigating the waters of a staggered stance, keeping the belly lifted up and in, creating some strength through the core. And now pressing strong through the feet, lifting up, hinging all the way up. Coming back to both feet on the mat. And let's just take the other foot in front, that right foot in front, heel to toe. And at any time you don't feel safe and you want to go back to maybe a wider stance, please take the opportunity to do that. As we squeeze the inner thighs, finding our heart center, softening the shoulders, softening the face. And if you're ready, hinging, leading with the hips, taking your time as we find our balance in our gentle fold. And pressing through the feet, bringing ourselves up tall. Unwinding the legs. Might even sway side to side since we've been a little narrow, taking a chance to feel stable for just a moment. And as we come back to that wider stance, feet about hip width apart, we're going to shift to one leg. So shifting to that left leg, let's lift the right, lifting from the knee, bending that right ankle, so almost like you have a string pulling us up, reaching along with the hands to help balance through all elements of the body. Now, as you soften your gaze, it's called our drishti, hazing the eyes, staring at a focal point. Let's take a breath or two. Now, as we start to bend that knee a little bit more, kicking back with that right leg, arms go back with it into our airplane arms. We hinge forward just a bit. And then bringing ourselves back to that solid stance. I'm going to turn to the side. Also, you can always have a chair here if you like, something to give you a little bit of assistance if you like. So as we lift through the right leg, reaching long with the hands, and then reaching back that imaginary beach ball, hinging forward, lifting through the heel. So as you play with this a few moments, you might choose to stay in one posture. You might choose to flow. And the next time that right leg is up and back, maybe we lift that left arm up into this version of dancer, keeping our hips squared to the front as we are able. And then we will return to that solid ground. Maybe sway side to side before going to the other side. Always good to have a little reset mentally and physically. And then as you're ready, pressing through that right foot into the ball and the heel, fanning the toes wide, pressing down with the foot, lifting up with the head, reaching arms out long. Let's lift that left leg. And when we bend that left foot, helps us just a little bit to have some stability. Finding your drishti, softening the eyes. And then when you're ready, you can kick that left leg back just like we did, reaching long with the arms, separating shoulders from ears. I'm going to go to the side again. And if you like, moving back and forth, maybe between this lifted leg, even raising arms if that serves you, shifting weight back into those airplane arms. And if you like, the next time that left leg is kicking up, lifting through the heels, maybe we reach that right arm out for that version of dancer. Always an opportunity to use a chair, the wall, whatever you like. We'll bring ourselves up tall. Let's take just a moment to roll the shoulders back. Roll them forward. And let's bring our hands to our heart center. I thank you all for participating in a little balance work today, something you can do anytime, just about anywhere. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. Namaste.